We are finally back. This weekend, Contenders returns after more than a year away with Road to Contenders 3 at the Epic Studios in Norwich, and I cannot wait. I've just been doing my fight prep. I'm so excited about it. I thought I'd do a little video just to preview the event because it's good to be talking about fights again and thinking about covering them. So this show is topped by an absolute K1 barn burner. 2 pro debuts, Jack Purdy and Mikey Finn. A real interesting clash of styles. You've got Jack Purdy, he's never lost on Contenders. He's fought boxing and K1, and he's a volume striking technician. But he's coming up against a spinning box of tricks in Mikey Finn. Both guys have been fighting their whole lives. They've won more titles than they know what to do with. Mikey was telling me his mum's even been chucking them away. He's got so many of them. But now they meet in a pro K1 clash, and it's going to be fascinating to see whose style comes out on top. You've got Purdy, as I say, a volume striker. He's been working with a Thai boxing world champion in preparation for this fight. He's moved gyms to Hodray, and he's telling me that his low kicks are going to be money in this fight. Obviously pro as well, without the shins, so they're going to have more impact with those low kicks. And in Mikey Finn, he's facing a southpaw who's been working with pro boxers, sparring with pro boxers in the run up to this fight. He is, as I say, he's got all the tricks in the book. He throws all sorts of spinning stuff. He's a very dangerous striker, and it's going to be really interesting to see who manages that distance the best. Jack told me he thinks he's going to win the fight at distance. He throws lovely straight teeps down the middle, which he mixes up and throws to the face. He's a volume striker, as I say, and Finn probably needs a bit of space to get those flashy techniques off. Obviously, he's going to be confident in his hands as well. They're going to get it on because they don't really get along. Jack tells me he's expecting a game, tough, tricky Mikey Finn, but he thinks he'll have far too much for him, and he'll get the finish if it comes. And Mikey, for his part, tells me he thinks this fight's going to be over really quickly. He says Jack is sloppy, and he thinks he can take advantage of that and stop him early doors. So that's the top of the bill. K1 cracker, do not miss that one. But elsewhere on the bill, I've just been looking, I've been watching some fights. There's so many good fights on this card. Got to talk about the co-main event. Tariq Pell, in his final fight before he goes pro. It's a catchweight MMA fight with Thomas Callaghan, who's coming all the way down from Glasgow to fight Tariq. Tariq's coming down from welterweight. Callahan's a lightweight, so they're meeting in the middle. Tariq, of course, has a lot of the tools you want in a pro fighter. He looks good, he talks good, he's very explosive in the ring, a very dynamic striker. But let me tell you, this fight is not an easy fight for Tariq Pell. Callahan means business. He's coming all that way to get the win and shatter Pell's final fight as an amateur. He's given up his job to focus on training for this fight. He's a very good striker himself. Look out for those low kicks, especially the inside low kick. And also he's decent on the ground, and we've seen Tariq tap before on Contenders. Obviously Tariq has been working with Adamski and all those killers at Tsunami Norfolk, so be interesting to see how much he's added to his ground game. That's the co-main event. Elsewhere on the card, you've got big Jakub Adamski, the Contenders heavyweight champion, but this time he's fighting a guy in Ben Smith who thinks he's got the key to unlocking the giant heavyweight. He's never been beaten before, but Ben Smith thinks he can do it. He's asked for 5 rounds, and he's got 5 rounds. What's his plan going to be? You'd imagine it's going to be to box on the back foot, to make Jakub miss, to make those muscles start to tire, and then start to make him pay in the later rounds. And that, for me, is the right way to go about things. If you're going to beat Jakub Adamski, that's the way to do it. He needs a lot of oxygen to feed those massive muscles. Looks like a bodybuilder in there. But it's much easier to think about and say than actually do it when you're in there confronted by this mountain of muscle, who's a much better boxer than most people give him credit for. He's got really nice technique, good jab, and of course that right hand to the body is absolutely terrifying and liquidizes the insides. He throws it with real venom and often brings it upstairs as well. So that's a really interesting fight as well. Heavyweight boxing, 5 rounds between Ben Smith and the heavyweight champion Jakub Adamski. And then elsewhere on the card, I just want to give a shout out to a couple of other guys I'm looking forward to watching. Reece Ward, Norfolk's answer to Nate Diaz. He's never in a bad fight. He's on this card. He's been working on his game solidly. He's been away for a couple of years. It's going to be fascinating to see what he brings back to the cage. What he always brings is entertainment and scrappiness and range and striking. So fascinating to see what he does. And also Taylor Mills, who's making his MMA debut. Really good K1 Thai striker fighting MMA on this card. It's the opening fight on the card, on the main card, excuse me. And that's again going to be fascinating to see how he does in the MMA realm. So there you go. Do not miss it. There's loads of great fights. It's coming at you live on MMA TV from the Epic Studios in Norwich. If you haven't got a ticket, the only way you can watch it live is on MMA TV. First fight 8 p.m. 6 p.m. 6 p.m. first fight. Do not miss it. I'll be there calling the fights along with my friend Jimmy Fell and also covering the event as well. So hopefully I'll get a chance to put some stuff out on the night. If not, I shall speak to you after the event.